I just finished, I finished my day about half an hour ago. It's 10 o'clock. I just finished some soup that my girlfriend Teresa made me when she was in town from Canada. I've got my Living in America with Canadian Roots shirt on. We're about to go into the From Head to Heart podcast. My heart hurts, so I don't want to be in it, so I want to go up to my head and just be angry. My ex-boyfriend's birthday presents are still wrapped on the counter. He won't open them. I went to all this trouble to put together from all of his friends like a photo of them and him and 3 words that would describe him. I put it together in this book and I got it expressed, rushed, so it'd be here fast. He wouldn't even look at it for days. And I finally said, you're going to go see all your friends who contributed to this book. You might want to look at it. No. He's never said thank you. I texted him happy birthday. He never has texted back. He wants me to leave immediately, but I'm not because I'm leaving for Australia in 2 days. But the movers and packers came over today. It's like he must also not want to be in his heart and be in his head. The quote, hurt people, just keeps ringing through me all day. And so it makes me proud that I've dedicated my life to going from the head to the heart, and then even from the heart to the hips. And it's uncomfortable, and I hurt, and I wish it was different, and I don't like it. And it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And I guess where I've come to is that my job is to integrate my feelings so that I can be an allowance and compassion and love for who he is, as he is, where he is. And have all of this have nothing to do with him and everything to do with my invitation to integrate my stuff back into my heart, back into my body, back into love of me and compassion for him. You know, it's careful what you ask for. And when I finished my inner circle call tonight, it was so vulnerable and so beautiful, and people were so grateful for the safety, the unconditional love, the non-judgment, the intimacy, the strength in our vulnerability. It was exquisite. So it was a great reflection to, I don't have to like it or prefer it, but to be an allowance of how he's being. And to still keep my heart open and move forward. So enjoy this podcast. Welcome to Intimate Conversations. Become the one. Intimacy is an inside job. Hello and welcome to another episode of Intimate Conversations. Here we are in August. My God, how did we get here? This time we're doing Allana Pratt method processes every single month. We've got 10 of them. We're launching 5 of them in a program called Become the One Mastery, and the other 5 in a program in the new year called Find the One or Awaken the One You're With Mastery. So the Allana Pratt method process we're talking about this month is from head to heart, from head to heart. And we're talking about what if beliefs are just made up. I believe there's a difference between a belief in your head and a knowing in your heart, your gut, your hips. And in all transparency, I was very much what I call sprinkles on top of the ice cream cone of shit. I was just like, if I can just do 10 more affirmations, I'll finally be good enough. I was spinning so fast, trying to make you like me, trying to be safe, trying to look good, anything to stay spinning fast enough so I didn't have to slow down and feel terrified, terrified that you'd hurt me, leave me, reject me, take advantage of me, blindside me, like level 4 trauma, total disassociation, had no clue. All I knew is I was very driven, I was very positive, I could accomplish a lot, I never wanted to rest, I worked every weekend, I guised it in all of this spiritual bypass. I was being a contribution, all these things. No, I wasn't. I was completely terrified. And I didn't know what to do about how terrified I felt, because then I would instantly think, oh my God, you're such a loser. What's wrong with you? And so I didn't want to, feel that, think that. So I would operate on top. Excuse me, bless me. I would operate on top of that with all these beliefs that didn't work, affirmations that didn't work. And so as I continued to do the work that I've been doing for the last 20, 25 years, I discovered that our conscious beliefs are very different than our subconscious beliefs. Kind of think of it like a iceberg. The very tip of the iceberg, like just a little baby part on the top of the water, is your cognitive beliefs, your beliefs that you can think of, you're aware of, stories about your life, what you think has happened in the past, present, and future, all like this conscious awareness, right? Conscious beliefs. But then under the water is this humongo iceberg, right? And those are our subconscious beliefs. They're not just like words beliefs. It's almost like pre-verbal, pre the words. It's like more of a like go there, don't go there, safe, not safe. They're lodged in there from when we were tiny. I even believe from past lives as well. They're things we've basically heard probably from others, and then what we've made it mean ourselves. And we don't really have access to what these beliefs are, except we can look into our life, our circumstances, our relationships, and go, what must I believe to have this be my reality? Because it's not our beliefs and thoughts, in my opinion, so much that we're conscious of that create our reality. It's the vibration and what's running the show under the surface that's creating our life. I had no idea what was under the surface until I attracted a criminal assault, pleaded guilty ex-boyfriend. I'm like, how the hell did I do that? Certainly not cognitively. This Ivy League grad, smarty pants, would definitely choose healthy man. But my body didn't. I discovered through mostly psychedelic somatic integration work that I've added to all of the other quantum psychology, spiritual technology, Allana Pratt method processes that I've studied and developed over the last 20, 25 years. When I added this piece to it, I was always in my body. I was always like a dancer, a lot of somatic work, breath work, even plant medicines, but I've never used them in this way, which allowed me to, with a facilitator, have my autonomic nervous system bring it back from this level 4 trauma that I didn't even know I was in, disassociated, all the way back to 0, level 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And on the journey, which I left the secondary consciousness of my mind, dropped into the primary consciousness of my body, let my body run the show. Let my body show me what was really going on the inside. Trust body, surrender to body, with the facilitator supporting me. All these other beliefs that I had no idea were revealed. A tremendous amount of self-hatred was revealed, and a nonstop hypervigilance that never shut off, ever. And the belief was, where's the abuser to survive? Where's the abuser to survive? It never shut off. And once I could survive the abuser, then the next level of the belief was, where's the abuser to, the next abuser to master surviving? So I just kept attracting more abusers to get better at surviving, but this just kept looping 24/7 nonstop. And it made sense finally, not just romantically who I attracted, but professionally, people that would say, invest in this and get this money back, I would believe them. They would take all my money. Coaches and consultants that said they would support me, no, they just took all my money. I'm like, why am I doing this? And then again, what's wrong with me? The self-hatred grew and grew and grew. So when I started to do this deeper work and integrated, processed, brought home my autonomic nervous system, along with it, the subconscious beliefs were revealed, integrated, processed, collapsed into stillness. And there was this new opportunity at a core level, like that critical learning window opened again, the neuroplasticity that happens after the use of this use of psychedelic medicine, that there was this window where I could rewrite my beliefs. I could rewrite from avoidant to secure attachment. And it's not a belief like I'm good enough, like not like that kind of belief. It's like more like a knowing I am. When you get back to still point or zero, your autonomic nervous system, there is such a sense of home. The embodiment is so still that the idea of safety doesn't even make sense. You just are home. The idea of like, I'm enough doesn't even make sense because you just are. I am that I am. There's no sense of I need to be confident to accomplish, because accomplishments and achievements, well, those just come and go. But my worth, my inherent worth, my isness, my amness, I just be. I just am. And all of these sprinkles on top of the ice cream cone of shit beliefs aren't required anymore. It's like a reality where not like anything's possible in fantasy land, like I can now go be an NBA basketball player at 54, not like that, but like a knowing that me plus the divine, we got this. I'll put out my intentions. I'll show up in life, but I'll completely simultaneously surrender it all to divine will, knowing, not thinking, knowing the divine's got my back. The divine's in charge. If I just keep putting one foot in front of the other and I integrate all my wounds and I stay this open vessel that can hear the divine, know what I know, need nothing on the outside to prove I'm good enough, literally surrender all attachment to what the relationship world's going to look like, the money world's going to look like, the business world's going to look like, the parental world's going to look like, all the worlds. Just, okay, divine, you're in charge. With my heart open, feet grounded, present in my body, and keep walking forward, everything works out. And if it falls apart, it's meant to, let it go. And if it falls into place and it's beyond your wildest imagination, receive. It doesn't mean that you're finally good enough. You always were good enough. It's just how the divine chooses to use you in your unique gifts and talents and genius as the divine, moves through you, inspires you, fuels you. Joseph Campbell, follow your bliss. To me, follow your bliss is listening to how the divine aches to know itself as you. And you keep stepping up and moving forward. And life often doesn't look like what you thought. I don't know, Joseph Campbell's on my mind today, but what is that quote? Be willing to let go of the life that you've planned so as to receive the life that's waiting for you. I definitely had a plan. And I believed in my brain, oh, if I'm good enough, I can do it. And I push, and coerce, and plead to people and convince them and strategize and all this, God, awful, exhausting way of living. I had a certain amount of success there, but it was on top of this hum of terror that I got to keep it going and it's up to me. No one else is going to do it. I got to do it. Those were like the underlying beliefs. And once I finally, not that I'm there at all, but I've done a fuckload of work to integrate a lot of this trauma triggers. So there's quite quiet inside. It's quite quiet. And I don't really have beliefs so much as I have energetic knowings of light and expansive, go that way. heavy and contractive. Not so much. It's more of a living by truth. This feels in alignment. This feels like my truth. This feels me. This, I need to try to talk myself into it. I need to kind of pretzel myself. I need to kind of push away some of my values. I need to be out of integrity. No, that's not the way. That's not my truth. And that's kind of how I gauge life. For the first time in 50 years, I feel held by the divine. And that doesn't mean it's necessarily all going to be rainbows and bunny rabbits and go well. There could be great challenges. There could be great pain, devastation. There could be great disappointment. Like there's still all the human things to go through. But I have this capacity, I don't know if it's an ability so much as a capacity to let it all fall apart and to still know I'm held. To have things I was convinced were going to go a certain way crash and burn, but not to go, oh, poor me, into victimville, but to go, okay, universe, wow, didn't think that was the plan. What you got up your sleeve? Stay present, keep moving forward. I find when something leaves, if I go into victim and I shut my heart and I lower my eyes and I hide, what was coming to me, I miss it. But if it crashes and burns and I integrate my disappointment, devastation, what have you, and I stay present and I keep my heart open and I stay in my hips and I stay aware, I stay curious, I stay humble, something quite magnificent, most of the time beyond my wildest imagination, will show up. And then I say, yes, please. And I have the confidence to ask, but the humility that if it doesn't work out, that's okay. I'm still enough. All is well. Nothing's wrong here. And so what's wild is the attachment to the next client, the attachment to the boyfriend. These attachments are softening. It was funny the other day. So as of the recording of this podcast, I had been with Scott for 10 months. We broke up for about a month. We were consciously uncoupling for the first time, giving each other space, letting go of our people pleaser stuff that was still in there, our placating stuff that was still in there, our fear of rejection that was in there, our thinking that we needed the other to be a certain way for us to be okay that was still in there. We were giving each other so much space, we really started to quite enjoy each other. But here we are, consciously uncoupling. I'm still looking for my next, for my property to purchase in North Carolina, my beautiful space for my clients. But we're getting along better than ever. We're actually having better sex than we've ever had. And we're laughing about this. We're like, what the hell? Here we are having it had to look a certain way based on what we believed in our head, our little baby head, of what relationship looked like, commitments look like, agreements look like, all the things. That didn't work. So as we've evolved, taken ownership, let go of blame, stayed open to how the divine wants to have its way, fully willing to break up and just be friends for the rest of our life, we're seeing each other through different eyes. And I'd say through not a different belief in what's possible, but a true, in the moment, unattached, like, wow, literally what else is possible is a curiosity and a knowing within our body. And we're getting along better than ever. And I still human. So it was time to renew my car insurance from when I used to live in Wyoming. Now I'm in South Carolina. It's friggin' expensive. It's like going back to LA. It's like almost 4 times, 3.5, 4 times the amount. And so he called his insurance agent and said, hey, we're not married, but we cohabitate. Can I put her on, can we do the bundle and get a better rate? So it was 1/3, 1/4 the price. I'm like, bring it. Thank you. But I simultaneously got terrified. Oh my God, we're bundled. We're in a container again. What if we break up? And then I got all attached to like not being rejected, and he had to be a certain way. I went right back to my thing again. And then one of my coaches, he's like, Allana, if you bundle your car insurance, you can unbundle your car insurance. You're still sovereign. You're still free. It was just fascinating how quickly I got attached to the outcome again. Well, if we're bundled, then we need to stay bundled. No, we don't. Every day's a choice. Every day's a choice to stay together so long as we align with each other's values and we both do the work and grow and bring out the best in one another, let's keep going. If that doesn't occur, then bless you and release you. So I still lose my way and then find my way again. So as we dive into some of your beautiful questions today with this month's theme, out of the head, where beliefs live, into the heart, and down to, I would even say, the hips, where knowing resides, truth resides. Questioning, what if beliefs are just made up? And so if they're just made up, let's make up better ones. But I would go even beyond that. Let's go down into our hips and just know what we friggin' know. And that way we can't be manipulated by others or be attached to a certain belief or expectation, which when we're so attached to a certain belief, it's like we're single focused. We can only see that reality when there's so much possible in life. Your first question is, Allana, what steps can I take to shift from just understanding to truly feeling and embodying new, empowering beliefs about myself? Okay. So as I said before, I'm a work in progress. I'm a student. The more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. So this is what I got today for you. I've been studying a lot about the difference between third dimension, 3D, to 5D, fifth dimension, 6, 7, and on we go. And it seems that the third dimension is very much about beliefs that I'm right, you're wrong. If I win, you lose. I'm superior, you must be inferior. And a great attachment to needing to figure it out, understand it, from the basis of being terrified that if I don't, I'll get hurt, I won't be safe, I'll be left, I'll be rejected. Like it's all fear-based. And so what I've been shifting to as I leave the mind and I drop through an integrated heart, integrating fear, integrating shame, integrating self-loathing, integrating rage, all the things I've needed to integrate down, and resting kind of like underneath the water of a sailboat. You go down, that keel that goes down, I kind of feel like my hips go down, and it's quiet now that I've done a lot of psychedelic somatic integration work. It's quiet, and that's where I know what I know. And to me, the fifth dimension is an experience where you let go of trying to understand or figure shit out, and you drop into beingness. You're not so worried about the past, present, future, and regretting the past and trying to control the future. You just be here and you listen moment to moment, day to day, decision to decision. Is this in alignment with my truth? It'll feel, not think, feel clean, clear, aligned, right, true. And if it's not true for you, it'll feel crappy, nauseous, contracted, makes your face scrunch, makes your vagina kegel. It's like your heart's like, nah, right? And that's kind of how I make my decisions. I definitely do my research if I need to understand numbers and this kind of thing, but it's much more a sacral feeling, like a gut feeling. So what steps can I take to shift from being in the head, understanding, to truly feeling and embodying new empowering beliefs about myself? You've got to go through the caca to the stillness. So when the feeling is, oh God, I did it again, I hate myself. Instead of thinking about that, go into the body and go, where is self-hatred in my body? Oh, it's like solar plexus. Or, oh, it's my throat, I can't speak truth. Or, oh, it's in my shoulders, I've been shouldering everything. Or hips, oh, scared to move forward, very tight. Feet, don't want to be on the ground. Hands, in control. Like, go into the body and feel where that feeling is. And don't go into the body to feel it in order to get through to the other side. That's, again, strategy of the mind. This takes a lot of practice and bravery, but you go in to feel and you just let go. It's like getting on a surfboard. We're just going to take the wave. I don't know where the wave is going to go. We're just going to get on the surfboard and go. We're just going to trust the body. We're just going to trust the feeling. We're going to follow the feeling. We're going to both feel it and be aware of where it's going all at the same time. So we're experiencing it and we're witnessing it all at the same time, the feminine and the masculine. And it changes. Sometimes it goes from like hopeless. What's the point of life? Who am I? Who am I to have what my dreams? Feel the feeling of hopeless. Don't just think it. And as you feel that, you might go, oh, it's so nauseous. I don't even want to be here. I can't stomach or digest even being here. Ugh. And then as you feel through that, allow body. Body might take you then to rage of being pissed about something that you never got to speak up about. It might take you into panic where you never got to run away. You had to endure something awful. Maybe it'll take you into self-loathing, self-hatred. You fucked up again. Whatever it does. Maybe it's horrific sorrow. It's tears that are so awful. You can't even cry the tears. It's so awful. I don't know where it's going to take you, but it's probably not going to be fun. But it's going to be for a very short period of time. This very intense emotion. Follow it. And then as you follow that, and I've done this personally, lots, done this with clients, lots, decades. Eventually you'll get to like level 1 autonomic nervous system, maybe mild concern, but it has more of a sense of relief that you just got through that wave. And then if you keep allowing that, and again, don't try to figure it out. Don't try to wonder where you're going to go next. Again, do your best to inhibit all the strategy to try to be safe and keep honoring the body, surrendering to the body, listening to the body, feeling with the body, following the body, trusting the body. You get to 0. Your autonomic nervous system is back to 0. And what occurs is you feel calm, not the calm you feel when you like disassociate calm. Like, no, I'm fine. Really, I'm fine. No, you're numb. Not like that. Calm, like, oh, like yummy, yummy calm, like spacious in your body calm, like whole, I'm enough for no reason calm, like secure, circumstances can come and go, people can come and go, I'm good. No matter what happens, I'm good. That kind of wholeness. When you do that, having started at a feeling that wasn't comfortable, on the other side, it's at still point at 0. There's wisdom. It's not just calm, quiet, still, and then that's the end of it. No, it's deposited a jewel of wisdom, of knowing, of insight, of awareness. Like that thing that occurred, that event that occurred that made you feel that way, it was a life lesson. It was a gift. It was meant to give you a message. It was meant to help you evolve and grow. So when you feel the feeling all the way back, you said, how do I embody new empowering beliefs about myself? They're waiting to be discovered. They're like dormant beliefs down in your hips, down in your body, waiting to be revealed. You don't have to think them. They're there. Oh, I am enough. Oh, I don't need to be attached to the outcome. Oh, every person's a gift to help me grow. Oh, that bankruptcy was meant to show me cha-cha-cha. Oh, that divorce was meant to show me cha-cha-cha. Oh, that issue with my health was meant to show me cha-cha-cha. It'll just be like self-evident. You'll just see it, know it, and then bloody well write it down. Bloody well write it down. Because you want to go, when you do touch truth, not a belief, a knowing, a truth. When you touch it, write it down. Make it part of your morning practice. When you read, make it part of your evening ritual. Make it part of what you read on your phone when you're waiting in line at the grocery store. Just feed truth back to yourself. Mirror truth back to yourself. That's how it's worked for me. And that's how it's worked for my clients. And it's humbling because it's actually pretty easy. Maybe not easy, simple. It's pretty simple, not easy because it takes a lot of bravery to feel a feeling. But once you get there, all of the striving and trying and pushing and oh my God, what a waste of time. You now see what a waste of time that was. But not really, because it was part of your path. It was part of your evolution. You couldn't have gotten here without being there. So you didn't waste any time. That was your next step on your evolution. Perfect. We just don't need to beat ourselves up about that. And the more and more we get back to 0 and all the wisdom's there and the insights are there and the knowing's there, to me, I'm just more and more grateful and humbled that thank you, universe, you didn't give up on me. Thank you that you kept supporting me, and thank me that I didn't give up on me, and thank me that I was brave and I kept going. And you begin to taste that vulnerability is definitely your greatest strength, and your sensitivity is also not a weakness. It's a superpower. Question number 2. How can I cultivate a mindset that allows for flexibility and change in my beliefs rather than feeling stuck in old patterns? I'll ask that again. Sorry, I'll read that again. How can I cultivate a mindset that allows for flexibility and change in my beliefs rather than feeling stuck in old patterns? Okay, so I'll do the last part of the sentence first. Feeling stuck in old patterns is being a victim. At the beginning of our evolution, we're either the victim or we're going to try to get saved. We're going to be the savior. We're going to save the victim, or we're going to try to get saved. As if we're the victim, we want to be saved. So victims attract people that save. And there's always a perpetrator. Definitely got to blame somebody, right? So it's like a triangle. Victim, save me. Bad guy, perpetrator. It's a triangle you can stay stuck in forever. Many of my PSI, psychedelic somatic integration immersions with clients, clever, well-intended, do the work, show up, all the things, and they still won't let in success. They'll still put up with abusive relationships. They still won't receive people that honor them. They still get passed up for promotions or what have you. Like, these patterns still continue. It's most of the time because they are stuck in an old pattern, a program in their body, not their mind, not their beliefs. It's a program in their body. It's a subconscious program in their body. Okay. They've got the best of intentions. They're aware, they're alert. That's not doing shit, because that's just the top of the iceberg. So this underneath the water program, and in the body program, is actually what's keeping them stuck. So they might intend and put all this effort into a great result only to have it be sabotaged, because the girth of who they are is sabotaging it, is not letting them receive or let go or step into or step out of the program. And they're either always the victim, always the savior, or always the perpetrator, or they take on the different roles of it. In order to free yourself of being stuck in these patterns, romantically, any relationships, parentally, some of my clients have massive ones they're still entwined in with parents, or kids, their kids, or their relationships. Everybody has their flavor. In order to free yourself of that program, you have to do the deep subconscious integrative work to collapse that program. How do we collapse programs? We feel the unfeelable all the way home to zero. We sit in the fire all the way home to zero. We trust the body and we follow the emotions all the way home to zero. We go into areas of pain and we ask what's held there. Ooh, rage. We feel it all the way back to zero. We don't need to figure anything out. It's very, very humbling to the ego. It's like an ego death, because the ego doesn't get to be in charge anymore. The divine energy through your body, taking your body home to zero still point, that's what's in charge. That's who we're honoring now. That's who we're giving the reins over to, not the ego. The ego can take the back seat. Thank you. And in the front seat is your integrated body, integrated by saying these programs that keep you stuck are gone. I will say that when your program that you've ran your whole life through, it's kind of like wearing a pair of glasses. Every relationship, every situation, every structure, every system, every job, everything is through the lens of, for example, like mine was, where's the abuser to survive? Or it could be, don't tell the truth or you'll get hurt. Or it's, I'm meant to sacrifice to keep everybody happy. Or, these are these subconscious programs that sabotage people's lives. Or one client's like, I'm the source of my parents' well-being. So she just had to keep sacrificing herself. When those are collapsed, we don't need a mindset anymore. Mindset is irrelevant. It's a beingness. It's a beingness. So when we're first starting our journey, and we're either the victim or the savior or the perpetrator, we want to notice that we're in that triangle, that drama triangle. And we want to be aware and go, I'm not choosing that anymore. And then we can ask questions like, what else is possible? And it'll take you on a path to somebody like me as a coach who will help you integrate those programs. For that short period of time, when you're aware of it and you're still on the path to integrating the program, I guess a positive mindset is helpful. Instead of calling yourself a loser every day, like, You can say stuff like, I got this. I'm going to figure this out. But still, that's still the mind. Figure it out. That's still 3D. It's a ceiling. It's only going to take you so far. So I'm not saying it's bad to have a positive mindset. I'm just saying it's relief. It's not healing. It's not transformation. It's sprinkles. Might as well have nicer sprinkles, I suppose, but it's not the end game, and it's exhausting, and it'll never get you where you want to get, and it won't collapse the program to save your life. Nor will, and this is very important too for anybody who's does plant medicine journeys where you leave the body and you go out to tier 3. It's like you have this greater identity of who you are as oneness with all, and limitless cosmos, and all these incredible insights you get when you're way the hell gone and one with all, right? You begin to think you know it all, frankly. You begin to think you're so spiritual. You can kind of get a little arrogant, like you're holier than thou. And what's wrong with all these people like suffering? Everything's love and light. It can be a trap. It can be a trap where you have an ego that's out of your body, connected with all that is. But then you come back into the world and you still like snap at your kids. You still like ignore your wife or your husband. You still cut people off in traffic. Your money situation is still a roller coaster, up and down. You're still attracting the emotionally unavailable people. That doesn't make any cognitive sense if you know it all, if you're one with all, if you can if you just have all the answers, does it? That's why I love PSI work. And while I've done several journeys, they didn't give me the results in my life that I desired. They gave me great insights. They gave me a knowing of who I truly am, one with all. But they didn't do any good to stop attracting abusers professionally or romantically. And I was still spinning a million miles an hour in hypervigilance. As soon as I finished my journey, I got right back into that terror, put on the happy face and keep pushing. It didn't heal anything. It didn't transform anything. And so I invite you to consider, if you're doing journeys for relief, because life is so hard, so you just want to escape, it's only going to get worse. What you resist persists. I would much rather encourage you to turn the opposite direction, not leaving, but coming home and being with what is intense. I won't admit, my clients and we are brave to feel through what in the moment for a very short period of time feels like unfeelable. Like, how am I ever going to get through this? And then on the other side, not only are you the embodiment of bravery itself, you are the embodiment of courage itself, you are the embodiment of strength itself. You're also the embodiment of humility itself, compassion, mercy, kindness, care, love. This work, staying in the body, is the path out of the hard work of a better mindset into, we could say, the heart set, the hip set. I don't know what we call it. That's embodiment. You just be. You just know all is well. Even if you open your eyes and shit's hitting the fan, you don't react. That's how you know you're embodied. You're being with a discomfort, something you'd not prefer, but you're not triggered about it. You're not reacting about it. You're having a normal, natural human emotion about it. You're being a human. You're not reacting. You're not leaving. You're not triggered. It's easier. The path is intense to get here. But once you're here, life becomes, it's like you don't need life to be a certain way to feel enough, to feel okay. And you have greater confidence to take risks because you don't have the attachment if it doesn't work out. You know that you'll grow into more and more of who you are along the way, regardless of what the outcome is. So if you have the inspiration to, like I had the inspiration to start a dating app, it didn't work. It was based on the program, the old program. But who I became along the way was the step my soul needed to take to heal. And my next adventure is a different feeling than the other one. The other one was, when I get it done, I'll be enough. When I get it done, the money will be there. When I get it done, I'll have proven, like, it was a sense of relief because it was based on the program running in fear. Like, I'm not okay now, but over there, I'll be okay. Now I'm okay. And I choose to create a docuseries and share this work that I get to do with the incredible family of clients that I have who are like family to me and to one another. If it happens, that'd be really cool. If it doesn't, I'm okay. I don't need to do it. I choose. And if it doesn't turn out to be this producer and it turns out to be that producer, great. If it turns out to be not that network, this network, great. If it turns out to be a documentary, not a docu-series, great. If it turns out to be something completely different, a book or a movie, great. I'm not attached to the outcome like I was attached to the outcome of the dating app. I'm delighted by what's possible, and who I'm becoming on the path is more important than the actual outcome. My desire to contribute is leading the way more than before. Of course, I've always wanted to make a difference and be a contribution, but there was still attachment and in order to when I did the app. With this docuseries, to me, if anything, it's a humble honor. It's a humble honor. And it hasn't happened yet. So I just keep putting one foot in front of the other, kind of like my next house that I'm buying. I've owned many houses in my life. Some were to prove, some were it was the right financial decision. This one is I'm calling her, this house, Tara. One of my beautiful clients, we were doing a PSI. I was renting an Airbnb, and he's like, I think your property has a name. And I'm like, oh, really? But he was right. He goes, and I'm like, wait a minute, the property is more than just a house. It's a healing center. And I heard the name Tara. And I immediately went, no, I don't want a girl's name for my house. I want like some sexy Sanskrit word or something like that. So I went to bed, and in my dream state, I heard, no, it's called Tara. And I woke up in the morning, still, it's called Tara. I'm like, for God's sakes, I've got a girlfriend named Tara. I'm not going to name my house after her. And then I had this memory of my shaman saying, Allana, you're becoming, the more you become integrated and an open vessel through which the divine can use you for others, you're reminding me of the Buddhist goddess Tara, the remover of obstacles, the through nurturance and love and care. I'm like, oh, that's who I am. That's who this property can be when people come to heal. And I can facilitate the removing of their obstacles. So this home is a very different way to buy a home than I've ever bought a home before. I feel like it's a she, Tara, is already done. And she's on her way to find me, and I'm on my way to find her. And eventually we'll find each other and it'll be perfect. Would it be cool if it happened by the end of the year and I got to spend my first, holiday there? Yeah, that'd be so cool. If it doesn't happen till 2025, fine. It's not that it won't happen. Maybe it'll be gifted to me. Maybe I'll buy it. Maybe the business will buy it. I don't even know. I don't even care. I just know it's done, because every time in my body, when I think of that property and who all the magic and the transformation that will occur within it, my whole body smiles. My face can't stop smiling. It's like every cell of my body smiles. It's what I'm meant to have. It's the place through which I'm meant to give. A part of what I'm here to do on the planet. Yeah. So that's my answer about mindset. I believe beliefs are just made up. And for you to be open to even deeper than a mindset, be open to knowing what you know about who you are, why you're here. And moment to moment, rarely do I get more than like a little bit of a high beams of a car of like a direction that I'm going. Normally it's just like in the dark, just right in front of me, one step in front of the other, knowing what is my next true step, and allowing each moment to be whole and full, not waiting for anything to occur on the outside to finally exhale. And it's a practice. I am not perfect at it at all. But my God, it's a very rewarding practice, and life continues to feel better, look better from the outside in, without this need for it to look better anymore. Yeah. Freedom, peace for no reason. Last question of yours. Allana, what are some daily practices or rituals that can help reinforce new positive beliefs about myself and my abilities? Again, if we're just going to do sprinkles on top of the ice cream cone of shit, go for it. Read your affirmations 10 times a day. I guess it's better than saying I hate myself all day long, but it's work. It's exhausting. I don't really believe in fake it till you make it, unless you still want to just live on top of that iceberg. I believe new practices or rituals, they won't reinforce new positive beliefs. They'll bring you home to what's true within you, is to feel your feelings, to make time, definitely once a week, where you put aside, I don't know, an hour, hour and a half, uninterrupted, and maybe put on some nice music or some of those recordings that support your vibration to help you out of your head and into your body and feel, and just take stock. Like, put your hand on your heart, put your hand on your gut, put your hand on your yoni. Just, hey, sweet body, what have I not slowed down enough to hear you say? What do you want to let me know? And it will speak in a feeling. Feel it. It'll speak in a sensation. Allow it. Your body might move, kicking something away, hitting a pillow, sobbing, moving into the fetal position. Just let it do its thing. Give it space to be acknowledged, honored, trusted, listened to, connected with. One of the Allana Pratt method processes is little you. And not that if you had an operation and opened yourself up, you'd see like a little stick figure inside of you. But the idea is, wow, if we can visualize a part of us that's young, who's sad, we probably won't hit them over the head with a 2x4. We might more likely go towards them and give them a hug, which is what these emotions need. They need allowance. They need respect. They need acknowledgement. They need validation. They need to be felt. And so when you think of, maybe there's a little you inside your heart, throat, that is so terrified to speak out, because if they do, they might get made wrong. Love might get taken away, and you feel this contraction around your neck. Feel that. Allow that. If tears arise, let them fall. And imagine that you've got little yous back. Because even if that might have happened in the past, you can reparent them now into secure attachment, securely attached to you. Hey, I hear you, little you. Your voice matters to me. Even if we're rejected, I will never reject you. Even if they don't appreciate us, I appreciate you. Even if your truth doesn't matter to them, your truth matters to me. This relationship is a wonderful practice to stay connected to. You can do that through meditation. You can do that through somatics and movement. You can do that through breath. And when an emotion arises, breathe and welcome it to the stage and allow it to be honored and felt. You can do journaling exercises. You can ask high quality questions, not like, what's wrong with me? I wouldn't call that a good question, but like, what's right about this? I've never considered. How is the universe on my side here, showing me the way home to my greatest self? I'm also very proud. Before we started this, I looked at this last question about practices or rituals. I have a wonderful staff, and Kidson and Jazz were the ones, they created this incredible book, Intimate Reflections, A Journey Within Your Sexy Soulful Self. I'm actually like using what I've created, and every day is a question, and at the bottom is a quote. So it's this big, beautiful coffee table book, kind of, and these are what the blank pages look like. Tell me a way you desire to feel more deeply seen, heard, and understood in your relationship with yourself, as opposed to on the outside with yourself. Notice that the inside creates the outside every time. Tell me a rule that no longer serves you. Tell me one specific action, a nourishing ritual you can do this weekend to surround little you in loving acceptance and appreciation. So I could just go on for forever. Tell me what living an intensely loving relationship with yourself means to you. Tell me something you used to think was wrong about you that's actually uniquely amazing about you. Tell me a time when you felt good enough, totally worthy, belonging, and home. So another practice It's not so much like I'm good enough, the belief, or I can make $1 million. Not so much those beliefs, but more like the knowings that, wow, I am worthy of love, like a knowing. These journaling questions, when you create a practice every single day, which is what I do, I sit outside, I put on vibration transmission. So my energy, I'm feeding in, my body's feeding in the energy. I like to be in nature. I have my practice with, I always drink Magic Mind first thing in the morning. And I put my ginger and my cinnamon and some other doohickeys in it. And that's how I like to start my day. And that allows me to reinforce, I wouldn't say necessarily new positive beliefs, but reinforce truths. And truths are inherently positive. Truths are inherently aligned with your soul. Truths are. And when you make time and you support your body and you support your energy and you support your vibration and you focus and you can build a list over time of these insights, of these truths, and you can read them. Maybe I'll read this to you. That'll be kind of a curious way to end this. This is what, I don't do it every single morning, but I do it most mornings. I add on my phone these beliefs, these knowings, I'd call them, not beliefs, but turn inward. Everything's taken care of by divinity. I can't fuck it up. Enchant yourself and others will be enchanted. You are magic. You have the power. And this, in fact, is what I wrote to my clients when I gave them all this book for their holiday present this last year. I said, your essence is a gift. Your light soothes souls. Your humor cracks me up. Your heart is pure delight. Your bravery leaves me breathless. Thank you for the blessing of you. Yeah, it makes me cry right now a little bit because that is what I wrote to all my clients. And that is who they are to me. That is also who I am to me. This is a truth I discovered when I integrated all my wounds, not that I'm all the way there, but on my path home to me, truth within me. Then I see it within others. The love that we be, we see in each other's eyes. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. This. And when I wrote this to my clients, this is what I mean. Every single week I get to be with them on group calls, and they are breathless in their bravery. Their hearts are pure delight. They crack me up. And their light soothes the other souls on the call, and their essence, just who they are. Yes, they accomplish great things. Yes, they achieve great things. Yes, their lives look different, better, miraculous by coming and doing this work. And yet, really what it all comes down to is their home in their soul, their home with their essence. They know they're more than enough. They know that they are. End of sentence. I am that I am. So that's a ritual. You can go onto our website, allanapratt.com, under shop, and you will find many books, 6 books, and this is the 7th. It's a journal. I think that would be an amazing practice. I'd say lastly, daily practices. I love going for walks in nature and listening to positive podcasts. It's not so much about cementing in, reinforcing beliefs. It's more about the opposite. It's more about opening up my conclusions, my assumptions, my inaccurate beliefs, what I thought was true, what I was attached to. A really good podcast where it makes me question myself. If anything, I'm more into questions than I am to seeking all the solutions and answers. And if life can be one big, what else is possible? Come. How does the universe desire to contribute to me today? How can I be used today, divine? Use me for the greatest contribution I can be to humanity. Yeah. How can anything I do be a little bit more delicious today? Yeah. What would it take for me to walk with a little bit more, spring in my step or swirl in my hips? These are questions that I ask. I'm just a dork. This is what I do. One last practice, I would say, when I drive places, sometimes I just make it be silence, and I just let whatever wants to arise, rather than always trying to fill the space. Kind of like I always needed to be busy, because if I slowed down, I would feel terror. Now that I've integrated so much more, I'm so much more comfortable with silence, myself, being alone. I'm not alone. Oh my God, I'm inundated with divine spirit everywhere I look, in, as, and through me. Like I'm so held and home as an embodied experience. So I really enjoy the silence a lot more. So I would say, finally, give yourself a chance for silence as you drop out of the head, into the heart, into the hips, full-bodied home. This is what my life has become about. This is what's an honor to walk with my clients, my soul family of clients. And thank you for being with me today. If what I've spoken of resonates, has touched a chord, if you'd like to connect and see what's possible, I would love to meet you. On the site, allanapratt.com, there is an opportunity to book a call with me. It's called an Intimacy Breakthrough Experience. And if you go into the show notes of this podcast, there's a scholarship there. So you can apply the scholarship, receive the discount, fill out the application, book a call in my calendar, make it a sacred time, eliminate all distractions, and let's be together and talk about what really matters: your intimate relationship with yourself, your body, the divine, and your beloved. Thank you for being with me. All my love. See you next week on Intimate Conversations. Get out there and make love to life. When you start living, not in your head, but down in your heart, you feel. And it's really awkward right now. Coming off of this podcast, speaking of the transformations that occur when we do the work to leave the head and into the heart, there's so many positive things that occur. So much more empowerment, so much more embodiment, so much more confidence. But also you can't unfeel what you felt. Like once you're in your body, you can't pretend everything's fine when it's not. And so at the recording of the end of this podcast, it's July 4th, and my ex is not talking to me. I'm leaving for Estonia and Australia tomorrow. There's like this awkward silence. He's got a show tonight. I'm not going. I have a client coming over in an hour. It's just like, it's not like I'm walking on eggshells. It's just there's nothing left to say. And it's just weird. And so my heart, I don't know if it hurts. It just knows it's not safe. It knows it's not welcome. It knows it's not valued. It knows it's not cared about. And so, and in human design, I become my environment. I have an open identity. So my body's just like, ugh, yakadoo. And July 4th is also the anniversary of my best friend dying when I was 16. It was such a shock. And I didn't even, like, my cats hadn't even died. My grandmas hadn't even died. Nobody died, and my best friend died. And I remember very distinctly, you can see on the front page of my website, allanapratt.com, the brief little story. But that evening, there were 2 rainbows that went over my cabin, and it was a pure blue sky night. It was magic. It was my friend saying, hey, you've got like 2 choices. You could be bitter, close your heart, be mad at God, wish you'd never met me. Or the other choice, the other fork in the road, you could choose to open your heart in the face of this atrocious pain. Not be mad at God, but say, okay, so what is the lesson in this? Why was this presented to me for my soul's evolution? And to learn to keep my heart open in the face of anything. So even all these years later, decades later, it's a poignant moment. I'm grateful to have been so crushed so early in life and choose to open my heart and choose to make this my life purpose, my life path, how I impact humanity, how I serve others, and how I live vulnerably, authentically, transparently when I'm hurting. And I don't pretend I'm fine when I'm not. And so it's an awkward day. And yet I'm independent. It's curious. I'm single. I'm independent. And I look forward to my next interdependent relationship when the divine presents him. And in the meantime, off I go on a month-long adventure around the globe, free. Yeah, free to be me. May you be free to be you. And if you're looking for an extraordinary community and a pretty badass coach who would love to walk with you in your finding of your sovereignty, your wholeness, your home inside of your heart, I'd love to hear from you. All my love.